Thank you, Rick. This is Bill. Let me review the agenda for a second. We've got the introduction that we went through using the collaborative interface. Rick just did the K&ID section, and the next section is Brett talking about graded discussions, grading student interaction on the Blackboard discussion board. Go ahead, Brett.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, as Bill said, I'm going to be going over graded discussions, both their creation and how students can use them. In creating a graded discussion forum, of course, you have to go to the discussion board itself, and then from there go to the Create Forum page, which will give you a place to put a name and a description of the forum and such. But what we're looking at here is the grading settings here, and I'll go over this in more detail in the demonstration. But if you put no grading in forum, you can go back and change this later if you decide to make it a graded forum, but it's best, of course, to start with a graded forum just for continuity's sake. And you can either grade the entire forum, so you show their entire interaction for the grade, or you can grade threads, which it doesn't do a grade for the entire thing. It lets you create individual graded threads. You have to select this in order to add grading to threads, otherwise it doesn't give you the option. And then you have an option to show the needs grading after a certain number of posts. That can be anywhere from 1 to, I believe, 10. And you can add a due date or a rubric, and then you have a couple other options. Here, you can leave it as the standard view, or if you'd like it to be so they have to post their own original content first, you can select participants must create a thread in order to view other threads in the forum. So if it's similar topics and you don't want them to be copying each other's work or sticking to the same theme or just saying the same thing the other students did, you can have participants must create a thread in order to view other threads in the forum. And it's best to put in the description of the forum that you have this enabled just so they understand, but it does give them a warning when they click on it. And there's some other options here. If you're grading, I would say that you probably want to not allow them to edit their own post, because then after the grading they might be able to they might go back in and try to edit it, say that they have a different answer altogether, or they may post in order to just see other people's things and then go back. So that one is unchecked by default, and then deleting of the post, of course, for the same reason. So forced moderation is another one that I want to talk about for a moment. That basically gives you a notice that there's a post out there that you need to look at and approve before it's posted for the other students to view. I would suggest not using that, but that's really up to your preference, of course. And this is just showing what happens when you click on the graded threads. It automatically turns off allow members to create threads, because the instructor has to create the threads in order to have a graded thread there. And this is just going through creating a graded thread. Once you're within the forum, you click on Create Threads, and then here under the grading options, you of course put a check mark to grade the thread, and then give a number of points possible. And then you once again have the option to set the minimum number of posts they have to post before a needs grading is brought up, and you can set a due date. It does. If they post after the due date, it shows that they're late. It doesn't disallow them to post after that date. So I'm going to do a live demo here. Just a moment. Share out my desktop.
While Britt is doing that, if I could make just a brief comment about what he's doing. Rather than sharing his whole desktop, at which point everything is real tiny, he's sharing a region of his desktop and moving that rectangle, the yellow thing that you see him positioning, so that it just covers the browser window. and it does that. You can also do a share an application, which kind of does a similar thing. But either way, it makes it easier for us to read because he's got a huge monitor and many of us don't. And that's a real issue sometimes when you're out on a webinar. So good job, Brett.
Okay, and here you can see that I've already created a couple of forums here. This one is for graded threads, and there's one for grade forums, and it just has the edit restriction on it, and one post for a grade. And this one has the limitation to have to create a thread before they can view others. I'm going to go into student view so you can see what that looks like. And go to the discussion board. And here you can see that it is a post first discussion forum, and I have to create a thread in order to see the other threads. So I'm going to go ahead and create a thread here. And then submit. And now I can see the one done by my other student account here. And if I wanted to, I could go in and reply. So if I go back to the discussion boards, see I've already posted as the demo user here, but I just wanted you to see what it looks like when they aren't allowed to see the other threads first. So I'm going to return to teacher view. And go back to the discussion boards. And here we have the grade forum. I can now go into the grade discussion forum here. And I'm given a list of the users that have that are in the class, and then you can see that I haven't graded any of them. I'm going to go ahead and just click on one of these, and I'm going to expand my window here because it's not showing the full interface. There we go. And so I can give them a grade here, and this obviously wasn't a very good one, so I'm going to give them a low grade and give them some feedback here. If I was using a rubric, it would show up here as well, and I can reply to it if I want. But I'm going to go ahead and submit that so that we can then go back to the grade discussion forum here. You can see that I now have a grade here for that user, and I can go in and do that for the other user here. But I can also go into the grade center here and see that there are needs grading for each of those. Sorry. And from there, I can grade user activity. But here we have a graded thread. And I can enter the grade here and enter the feedback as well. But I want to see one other here. I'm going to grade this discussion forum. I want you to see what it looks like with multiple posts here. You can see that as this user, I also replied. So this is grading their all of their activity in this discussion forum. So I can put in my grade there and then submit that, or I can go back to the discussion board, of course. And one other thing that I want to show you since we're here is a new feature that we've added. We've now added a print this page button to content areas. So before it was kind of difficult to get a good printout of any content area. This print this page will bring up a better print up of any page that you're in Blackboard. It doesn't work with tests, of course, when the students are accessing it. But if you wanted to print something out to make that available, you do have a much better option now with the print this page icon here next to go to student view. And that's all I have to show you for now. Does anyone have any questions? Well, thank you very much, and I'll hand you back over to Bill.
Thank you, Brett. Recordings for these presentations, a reminder, are placed on our tinyurl.com UMiami Blackboard archive site. We now have quite a few out there. Take a look if you haven't been part of all of them. And every Wednesday at 3:30, we do a virtual office hours. Glad to have you all here, and thank you for coming. We got some time. Katam?
Yes, hello everyone. See, I cannot leave before I comment, huh? I have a comment on Lily's question. I'm trying to figure out. Lily, you ask about those students they do presentation before a class on their own, and that's my understanding from what I get from you. And you said that they go to the course room to record their session, but they cannot access the record. Is that what you were asking? Okay. So based on what my experience with the Blackboard Collaborate, they have the course room and they have the create session room, and there is an option there. In order for a student to upload a PowerPoint presentation to the room, they have to have the moderator access. And there is an option inside, for the course room, or when they create a session, whoever creates a session, they can edit the access role, and instead of give them access as a participant, they can give them a moderator access. So each student will access the room as a moderator, and they will be able to upload their PowerPoint, and they can just also record it. They click on recording, and once they record it, they can actually retrieve it from the recording tab there. I don't know if that's answering your question. Kaltura, it can also solve the issue, but Kaltura in the end, you need to upload it to Kaltura platform, and you need to embed it as a video, which is also alternative solution to what you were asking. So I thought I should just to share that with all of you.
Thank you, Katam.
Yes, Brad. Assign role, and they can do them as a moderator, and this way they will be able to upload their own PowerPoints, and they can click on record, and they will be able to retrieve it from the recording sessions as well.
I guess one of the problems with that would be that they could step on each other. So if I'm doing my recording and somebody else comes in, they could try to load their content and stuff, couldn't they?
They can record. That's the thing. If they can actually upload the content. The session is running, and they can just upload the content. But again, we can set the session to be just one microphone and one camera, so the person who come in, they won't be able to even pick up the microphone. In my teaching experience, I usually ask my students to send the PowerPoint files to me, and I have them upload it for the final sessions, and I will be the moderator. But if they want them to see and evaluate, do the presentation before the class, I think this will be the best solution. And then after the recording, they have the option to convert the presentation to a video or audio.
Yeah, and then they can just paste the link to the presentation into the course somewhere for the other students to view. Is that right?
They can do that, or because it depends now, on the session, what is the faculty. If the faculty want to create a session, and it's going to be a session for for the class, they're going to have like multiple archived sessions, but it's going to be the same maybe title, if I'm not mistaken, and different dates. So each one of those can actually have the link to it and add it somewhere else within any presentation because in order for them to access it, they have to access a Blackboard. Otherwise, they need to convert it to MP4 and then use it, download it, and listen to it as needed.
And Katam, you're saying that you're using this now, that you've got your students doing their presentations before class or remotely, or what? Tell us about this.
No, I use it like, on different, I use an NFU platform, and it's the same thing. They use the Blackboard Collaborate, but in my case, the final presentation, they have to be live. They send me the presentation before the class, and I have them ready for the presentation, and I navigate for them as they go. But in Lily's case, if they want to do that presentation in their own before the class, that will be one solution. Kaltura will be another solution, but they need to upload it and embed it somewhere. It's not like just by recording and save it. The student have to know, like after that, they need to upload it to Kaltura and then embed it in the presentation.
Yeah, we probably need some guidance as to these workflows for the students.
Yes.
We can help make some instructions in that, or a video for them, once we understand better exactly how you want to use them, and then which process to use. Because I know the faculty don't want to explain all this to the students.
Yeah, but like if you use Blackboard Collaborate, let's see if they assign, in this case, I wouldn't do the course room. I would create a session and edit this session to be like this specific session to give them access role as a moderator, and this session we have it especially just for recording those presentations. So the initial steps, it has to come from the faculty to create the session and give the permission for all students to be a moderator for that specific session, and then just to take it from there. And again, as you said, it's different from one faculty to another how they want to present it. If they want the student to present at live, like then they can send the files to him, and then he or she can upload them and be the only moderator for the class. But some of them, they like them to record it before and then discuss it in the class. It's up to them then.
Yeah, that's really, really good feedback and good ideas. It's wonderful to have 4 instructional designers here with us today, so that you can really talk about your solutions and how to use these techniques.
Yeah, no, but thank you. This is a good question, Lily. Thank you.
One of the other things that we ran into when just experimenting with recordings was that until the room is empty in Collaborate, the recording doesn't get made.
Yes.
So we were waiting for a recording, but I was still logged in, so I never got my recording. The next morning I went and saw I was logged in, just logged off by chance, and boom, there comes the email with the recording.
I had experience with before we implement the Blackboard Collaborate in Blackboard here, we used to have like rooms at the School of Nursing, and I used to assign links, and and what happened that it have like an overlapping between two instructor is 2 different days. The first session that one of her students, she did the record, but one of the students didn't leave the room, and like 2 days later or a couple of hours later, the other faculty used the same link and didn't even know that they can actually dismiss the student, or by right-click and remove the student from there. And then it ended up that the recording had combined 2 different sessions, and they came to me now, how are we going to divide those 2 sessions? So I have I have like actually to record the screens, and it was like a time consuming, but we solved it and we end up having it as 2 videos to have each one in their own class. So it's important that we not only remove the students from the room after finish the session, that we have to log out and totally move out of the room.
Has anybody worked with what do they call the conference rooms, or the sub rooms within Collaborate, where you can put people at breakout rooms and that kind of stuff? Has anybody experimented with that yet?
Yes, I did. But not, as in my teaching, yes, I used to have a project where you break rooms, and they have like, sometimes activity, and in the end they go like you divide them. They can actually move themselves to different rooms. You can send them, you can randomly distribute them. And also in the end, you can send them back to the main room, and you can send their slides also to the main room. So it's a very, very nice feature.
Yeah, well, we will be asking you or somebody else with some experience to present that one week, because I'm real interested in it, just conceptually how it works and how it applies to the class and how you create the assignments for them to do in the breakout rooms and then come back into the main room and share it and all that. So I'm real interested in it.
Definitely. I will be more than happy to do it. Just give me like a notice, so I can, maybe we can practice it between us and break into rooms and do some type of activities, and that's the best way to know it, by doing it, So, but let me know in advance, please, so I will prepare for it.
Yes, you're absolutely right. In fact, in addition to the office hours where it's just a presentation, we probably need to have a practice session every week where people could go in. That certainly has been important to us. In fact, we've gone to all of our meetings using Collaborate, just so we can get more comfortable with the capabilities, with where the screen goes, volumes, and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katam. Anybody else have anything, any points to raise, questions to ask? Well, thank you for participating. I guess I've got a couple of links. Every Wednesday at 3:30, this is the link to give out, tinyurl.com/umiamibb. Share that with your colleagues, please, if there are other people that are interested. But the other thing is the quality of people that are here. Each one of you reaches out to, I don't know, 20, 30 people at least. So it's great having you here, and it may be that we just want to keep this with people that are instructional designers and support people and for a while and proceed from there. And the other one that I wanted to give was just to repeat, the archives of the videos are UMiamiBB archive, and that gets you into the Weebly site that has a page for each one of these and the videos. We're trying to figure out how to make it better, put into a better system, a knowledge base or something, so people can search for these videos as well as other materials that we develop. But it is a pleasure having you here. I'm on vacation next week, but Brett and Rick are not. So the session will go on as scheduled, and we hope to see you back. Thank you very much.